Bitcoin, can we have a conversation? I mean, I had a feeling you were going to come down here, but not this fast. I mean, the CME futures gap, 39.5. We've been talking about this level for how long? But today, it's a 3-day weekend. Come on. On top of that, you got the feds after you. I mean, Bitcoin, what's going on? Oh, and we cannot forget about this guy. It's a lot to talk about today. Let's get to it. Welcome to The Long and Short. It's your boy Maestro. Thanks for tuning in. Every day on this channel, we try to make you a better crypto trader by showing you smart money, price action trading techniques. If you want to learn how to be a better trader and you're tired of the OTA getting you wrecked in the market, you found the right place. Different format, different look that we're starting off with today. Pardon, we didn't drop a video yesterday, but as you can see, we're trying to make some improvements around here. So where we're going to start this off usually is with sentiment. How does the market feel today? And we're going to look at the fear and greed index. And right now we can see it's currently at 25 out of 100. This chart that we're looking at right now is called Look into Bitcoin. It's from a website called Look into Bitcoin. I definitely like the way that they display things on this fear and greed index. So we can take a look at where price was, where the fear and greed was in the market at that time. And this will give us an opportunity to start to find highs, lows based on sentiment, right? Because sentiment isn't going to tell you everything, but is going to give you something. So this is a good chart for us to analyze over time. This is a monthly chart, right? So every month they'll give us a new dot. We're going to be able to use this as a gauge in order to understand where the sentiment is in the market based on price. Okay. And that's a very good indicator to use just to lock in the back of your mind. How do people feel about the market when price is at this level or that level? Okay, so we're going to use this to our advantage. There's tons of other charts on this website as well that we're going to start to take a look at. So we'll breeze through this very quickly when it comes to fear and greed, and then we'll move into additional charts that may support either a bullish or bearish case, and we're going to use that to build what we want to trade with, which is called sentiment. Sentiment can be used in a lot of different ways. You can use it against the herd, or you can use it to trade with the herd, but it really depends on what the current market conditions are. We're going to talk about this on and on as time goes on, but this is sort of the first look at some of the charts that we're going to start to deliver. In the meantime, though, since it's a Friday, we won't dive too deeply into charts. I know most people are ready to enjoy a 3-day weekend and they don't want to talk about crypto right now, but there are some important things that we want to get into today. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about today is something that we already had a feeling was going to happen, and Sir Jerome Powell will most certainly raise these rates in March. Not a surprise. We were talking about this in January, but the thing that we want to be aware of also is that they're starting to target crypto as well, because just think about this, folks. If the feds want to raise the rates, what does that really mean? They want you to give them money. They're going to raise the interest rates. They're going to make money on whatever debt they loan out. So they want to rein in the money that they printed out to everyone. Understandable. That's fair. But what they're also starting to realize is that cryptocurrency is biting into that wallet a little bit too. If you didn't know this was coming, then welcome to the party, folks. They're saying stable coins was a topic of discussion because they're now seeing that this is starting to mess up the funding. All right. It's a vulnerability to the funding markets. Basically, it's a vulnerability to them. Some participants saw emerging risks to financial stability associated with the rapid growth of crypto assets and decentralized finance platforms. The reason why crypto was created in the first place was to get away from the government. And now that people are doing it, the government is going to try to figure out a way to get you to not do it. So this, along with the raising of the rates, is something that is partially contributing to what's happening with price today. I'm not going to say that it's all of it, but it has something to do with it. There's a lot of different reasons why price dropped today, okay, including algorithms. We'll talk about it. Also, the FBI is forming a national crypto unit focusing on the seizure of Bitcoin cryptos. Now, if you ask me, folks, this is probably a reason why the price dropped as well, because what you have is something called criminal whales. This is actually a term in crypto now. There's criminal whales that have tons of Bitcoin that they've stolen, hacked off of people, whatever it is. And if the feds are going to start cracking down on these guys, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to dump it before all of these agencies are formed, before people really start getting arrested for this. U.S. Justice Department has just appointed Young Choi, an experienced computer crimes prosecutor, to head its new National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Department. He is now tasked with leading a team of cyber and legal experts and prosecuting accused persons in the new cryptocurrency department. They're calling it the Virtual Asset Exploitation Unit, which would be tasked with conducting investigations on suspected crypto crimes and seizure of virtual assets. Crypto is the primary currency, the primary vehicle to facilitate extortion payments. It's the only game in town, Brian Bondran, an assistant director of the FBI Cyber Division, told Bloomberg on Tuesday, before stating that they were giving the crypto sector some deeper attention going forward. Well, Brian, I'm sorry to tell you, man, crypto's not the only game in town. You still have cash. Really, any form of payment will be accepted for crime. There is the barter system as well. They'll just find something else to trade, guys. This is not rocket science, but I guess they have a certain point, because you know what, guys? I got $4,000 worth of Bitcoin taken from me, okay, through stupid decisions. And it would be nice to get that Bitcoin back. Despite various nations recovering and prosecuting suspected crypto criminals, there are still some 4,068 criminal whales who hold a combined value of $25 billion in cryptocurrency. Are you getting the point now that maybe the price did drop a little bit harder because of this article rather than what Jerome Powell is doing? I think that might be part of the case. All right, 25 billion is not a light number when it comes to crypto. I hope they catch the person that got my $4,000 worth of Bitcoin, because I would rather it be in my wallet than your wallet, bro. Just being real about it. Very interesting article. Did the top 3 Bitcoin addresses just call another local bottom? So what they're saying is that there are about 3 addresses that hold over 100,000 Bitcoin. All right. And these wallets are what we would consider the mega whales of the space. And they accumulate at certain times. Okay. Right now is a time that they've been accumulating. And actually, they're a little bit off of the all-time high of what they've accumulated before. But, you know, these are the folks who can move the market. So what they're saying is that when they were at the previous all-time high here, you know, price was at its lowest point. But guys, this is very simple to understand. You should be buying when prices are low. But the reason why people don't buy when prices are low is because they're scared to. All of the price action that we're going to show you today is another form of a scare tactic. Okay, when price drops this hard, this fast, it's meant to scare you. All of the FUD, the news, everything that you've been hearing for the month of February, for the most part, has been negative. We had like one really good week, and the rest has been negative. So going into March, you can expect more of this, especially going into FOMC. Let's go ahead and dive into futures, then we'll dive into the charts, and we'll take a deeper look into what's actually happening with price. Okay, jumping into Bitcoin futures to see if we can tell the future. And for the most part, we did get an indication that this CME futures gap was going to be filled. It filled on Thursday. Friday came in, wasn't any better for us. Okay, 13 EMA didn't support us. And this was one of our worst fears that we were talking about since pretty much last week. Things are down right now, around 39,945. We said 39.5 was a level that we were watching for a very long time, and prices came and spiked and wicked through that level and pushed right back up off of it. When we were talking about 39.5 in January, when we first started this channel, and it got wicked off of today, and we're trying to see if that's going to act as support. If it doesn't, then you have a lot more pain coming in by the time the FOMC hits. First quarter, typically bearish for Bitcoin, and it's showing itself as the same this time around as well. Open interest down a little bit, but then the selling volume is up for sure. Now, something very interesting to me is that on the commitment of traders, you do have your large speculators starting to push higher to that zero line. And remember what we say, whenever they push higher on this zero line, guys, you're going to get these aggressive moves. Now, they didn't push as hard as they did before, but they did ink up just a bit. Okay, so could be aware of that. While retail traders, smaller speculators are starting to think short now. I'm pretty sure they're going to be way below this zero line eventually. And then that's when things, I think, will turn up a catalyst. All right. Now, larger speculators will only want to play the opposite end of what the smaller speculators do. What I think they're trying to do right now in the market, and I think it's a combined effort, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever you like, but what I think the combined effort in the market is right now is to FUD people out of their crypto. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of different opinions. There's a lot of things that will make you either buy or sell it today. And I think the thing that we really need to focus on is that wherever we move, the larger speculators will move the opposite way. If there's not enough Bitcoin to go around, they will FUD you. These are all of the dirty little tricks that happen in the market. They play them in price charts. They play them in the media. And we have to be smart enough as traders to understand that they're playing that game. You see all of the negative price action, but you do see larger speculators creeping up closer to that zero line. I wonder why. Also, on your elder ray, it looks like the bulls have given up the power. Bears have taken over again, which is why you're getting these two big red candles here, pushing us down into lower zones. Money's leaving the market, but not a lot. And you are in a distribution phase. So let's dive into these charts. Let's talk about a couple of things. I think that we've formed our sentiment and our opinion about what's happening with the news. They're trying to FUD us. They're trying to give us reasons to sell crypto. If we look at futures, we can see that larger speculators are buying crypto. The whales are buying crypto, Bitcoin specifically. Let's look at the charts. Okay, let's talk about it. Total crypto market cap currently sitting at 1.79 trillion, under the 1.876 trillion that we said is the dividing line between a strong and a weak market. And I think people may get the point at this point. If you've been following this channel for any period of time, you know this number, right? And it seems like when we break below this number, things are dark, right? When we break above this number, things are good. So we want to see price maintain itself over 1.876, okay, which is sort of the midline of the range of where the entire total market cap has been for the past couple of years. This is why this line is important, okay? So it's the medium of the range. We want to see price maintain above it. If not, we are in a weaker market, all right? So right now at 1.79, not very far from the 1.876 that we want to see, but still a weak market for us, okay? Prices do look like they're starting to push up a little bit, but it's the weekend, guys. We're going into Friday night. Things are not going to be moving too aggressively over the weekend, I assume. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin scalping chart. Break this down on the 1 hour, maybe the 15 minutes to see what actually happened and why price fell so aggressively. Okay, now what we want to do is start on the 1 hour chart to get an idea of what actually happened since our last video. The one thing that we were watching and what we did say in that video is that as price was moving up, I think this was around the time where we shot the video here. Price was doing this little action right here. And we said, if you're short, okay, which is what we were leaning towards that day. If you're short, you're looking for a grab of liquidity from sort of this even table here. You're looking for that retracement to come up and grab that and then fall down. And that's essentially what price did. Actually, let's go back so that we can watch that clip. On these heat maps, it shows you sort of where the orders are sitting. So our first levels of real support are going to be somewhere around the $41,000 level. Bit of a gap here until you get to 41.3, and then you break below that. These real areas of support here are right under where that CME futures gap is. Okay, so this lends credence to us saying, should price go here? It could, because what price likes to do is seek for the liquidity areas. Okay, where are the orders? A lot of this pressure is built up right below that CME futures gap, which does lead me to believe that if price were to start to rapidly fall here, you're going to see a drop below this imbalance, okay, below these areas here, to maybe where we were previously consolidating last week. You got to always remember, aggressive moves up can be tailed by aggressive moves down as well. All right, so if you want to break this down into scalp swing plays, my opinion would be your weight may be short today. I would say that you will want to wait for a retracement to confirm that, okay, which it seems that price is doing right now. But where are the levels to grab? They're probably up here somewhere around 44.3. If in fact you are thinking short, you want to see a spike of that liquidity before push down. In these very choppy markets, the only real plays and opportunities are after liquidity runs. Okay, so you can see it here. Table set, liquidity ran, price falls. Okay, liquidity ran to the bottom side here. Price rises a bit, but if your pressure's from the top side, it's not going to be as much of an aggressive move. So I would say that if you're doing anything today, you would think short. All right, not financial advice, but this is the way that we would analyze the market. So as you can see, right, let's just set the table. Let's just draw a little line here so that we can understand this. All right, now when you have liquidity that gets ran, okay, I'll set this little table right here. This is what I call setting the table. Okay, let's just point this out. You have highs here, all being set. Okay, you have lows here, all being set. But you have this big wick that came down, which actually tried to fill in some of this imbalance right here, but it didn't do it completely. Okay, so look to the left a little bit right here. You see this big green candle. There's imbalance here. Okay, fair market value gap right here. So price came down, tried to spike through it, couldn't really get through it. Okay, so that gave me an indication that price really wants to go short. Okay, you can also see table here. Let's just set them. Okay, so you have a table here with this one pink line. Okay, and actually we could just set this whole thing up right here. All right, now this pink line is going to show us where the liquidity grabs actually come in at, and I'm going to drag this out just a little bit more. What I want you guys to pay attention to is whenever you see a spike that goes up, you see how price tries to push itself down, spike up, price tries to push itself back down. Okay, spike up. Through the liquidity, price tries to push itself back down. 3 different attempts. Couldn't do it. Last attempt, spike up. And there you go. Liquidity run, liquidity run, liquidity run, liquidity run. 4 times. Down. Okay. It gathered all of the steam that it needed right from this area here, which are stop losses, right? People going long, all of these different things that are set up right at this level, all of these different orders set up right at this level, price just reached for them, reach for them, reach for them. Then it went down. Okay. So we were watching for this because we knew that if price was going to come back down into this order block, it had some targets. It had this imbalance. It had these lows here, right? All the way down. If you scroll out, we've been talking about this imbalance area for a month and a half, almost 2 months. This is exactly where price came down to, spiked into this area, right past 39.5, which is another level we've been calling out for a long time, and now it's sitting still. Okay, so what is next? What is next for price? Okay, we've already seen the bearish intention. Okay, what are we thinking? Well, you do have levels, lower levels of liquidity and imbalance here for price to go and get. Right at 39, okay, to 38. Below that, you're looking at 36, 35. We said that price may want to come here again. We said that price will probably want to range out going into the FOMC. If we got bullish, then it would be nice to see. Okay, but right now, price is showing us a different character than what we've been seeing. We have to respect when price does this. Now, some people may say that this is actually the beginning of just a larger retracement. If you were to go out on the daily chart, maybe the 4-hour chart, you can see that this is starting to line up against some retracement levels. So if we really want to maintain a bullish case, okay, let's just draw Fibonacci really quickly. And we'll do this with just some rough areas, some rough guesstimates. All right, from the high to low. All right, let's just play it out this way from this one extension. You are now starting to fall into some of these golden zones on a Fibonacci. Okay, so your 62% levels here, your 70% levels a little bit lower, deeper into this imbalance. And then now you have the 80% level, which sort of fills this imbalance here. So is this a retracement? Is this more of a range play to push us closer to 36, right? Or is this more of a bearish market where we're going to go into the lower 30s? I don't think it's that. I think if it's anything, you may still be trying to maintain somewhat of a bullish trend. Even though you broke below it here, this could be something of a retracement and price could bounce back up. Time will tell, but Monday, Tuesday, well, Monday's a holiday. Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be very important days in the market. Okay, it's going to be a short week. Expect some volatility. Expect some volatility. You may see some fireworks next week, especially if price gets really, really, really silent. Starting the week, Volatility towards the end of the week is what we anticipate. Here's the golden rule. Whatever happens in the beginning of the week, look for the opposite to happen towards the end of the week. Monday, Tuesday were bullish last week. Thursday, Friday turned into a bloodbath, as you can see. So these are little rules that we can follow, that we can always remind ourselves of, which is why we were thinking short, right? We saw price trying to reach, but not reaching aggressively. There wasn't a lot holding it down, but eventually that selling pressure came in. Lots of different news, lots of different FUD, and I think this is what really happened with price. Okay, so what am I looking at? Going into the weekend, I'm expecting things to move sideways, just like they did the previous 2 weekends. Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. You may get some volatility because price is lower now. People may come in buying at around the 40K. How many people have said the floor is 40, the floor is 40? Maybe not, guys. It may actually drop a little bit lower to 38, 39. If it does, don't be surprised, okay? I'm not expecting price to just launch up out of here. I'm expecting this imbalance to actually be fulfilled a bit, all right? And once it does that, then price will be able to run. But these are the things that make people petrified and scared. These really big downwards moves in a couple of days, just wiping out price, bringing it to a different level. But in all reality, folks, this is not a major drop. Being that price has dropped off, there are some buying opportunities that are starting to present themselves in the market. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so on the Bitcoin daily, I tell you, if that's not a perfect touch of 39,476, I don't know what is. They just did not want price to go into that discount zone. Understandable. You didn't want to give us a buying opportunity. It's all good. But Bitcoin currently right now is trading at 40,104. Thursday, Friday, push price down, spiked right off of that midline area right at the discount zone. So no real scaling opportunities, but we will be patient, right? We will be patient to see if price is actually going to come down here into the lower areas of zone and price where we actually want to buy, somewhere around 34 or 32. All right, but right now Bitcoin up actually 0.32%. All right, it's going to be a boring weekend, folks. I'm sorry. It's already past 7, so you know we're into the weekend now. It's Friday night. You guys should be having fun rather than watching YouTube videos. But other than that, you know, Bitcoin trading sideways for the most part, I'm thinking, into the weekend. Currently right now at 40,103. Let's talk about Ethereum. Okay, so for ETH is trading right now at 28.18, up 1.35%, showing more strength than a few other cryptos that are on our tracker right there. But again, low premium zone, we're looking to get ETH in the discount zone. So if things turn really bearish next week, start to think about this as scaling opportunities, right? You're scaling in a little bit. You're not dropping a whole bag. You're not going crazy into crypto. You're not a newbie, and you're not going to put your entire bank account and life savings on anything, okay? All you're going to do is scale in a little bit at a time once we reach certain levels, okay? With the anticipation that price will turn around eventually and you'll be in profit, okay? This is the way that institutions trade, okay? This is the way that bigger whales trade. They're going to accumulate as price goes down, okay? While everyone else is panicking, they're accumulating, even at higher levels than where price is now, because they know that once they really start to kick in those funds, it's going to push price. It's going to rally the crowd. The rest of the crowd's going to come, and then eventually they're going to be in a profit way before everybody else who was scared to buy at these levels, okay? So in these discounted zones is where we're looking to get in, okay? Discounted zones denoted by the yellow line. So the last one that you saw for Bitcoin also applies for Ethereum. Ours is sitting right here at 25.36. So if price drops down into the discounted zone for Ethereum, we're looking to buy, scale in around 24.01, 18.92, and we are looking to scale out around 3K. So as you guys can see, these blue lines are scaling in. The orange lines are scaling out, essentially taking positions, getting out of positions. This is how you maintain. This is how you keep a stack in the market and not get wrecked. Okay, let's move on to XRP. All right, XRP trading in a discounted zone, and as we said, anything really under 86 cents to $1 is a good buy for XRP. Right now, currently trading at 78 cents and up 0.64% for the day. All of these coins sort of took a hit on. All of these coins took a hit on Thursday, but some bounced back on Friday, okay? And XRP actually shows some strength on Friday going into Saturday. So again, discount zone, you know, bouncing back on Friday, that does give me good bullish vibes when it comes to XRP. I think if they can get over this lawsuit with the SEC, they're going to be just fine. But that has yet to remain to be seen, and we don't know what's going to happen with that. So hodl at your own risk, folks. Let's talk about ADA. Okay, let's talk about Cardano. So Cardano's back at the floor where we like to accumulate right at around $1. And these are areas where we like to get into Cardano. But Cardano has had some pretty negative price action. So we're not necessarily keen on jumping all in on Cardano, right? We do want to see if it can break out of this discount zone relatively soon, right? Otherwise, we're going to start to lose a little bit of faith in what's happening with Cardano, because this has really been negative downwards price action for the past, since really August, September, okay? So we want to see that change, and if it doesn't, then our accumulation bags may actually be affected with lower prices. But again, Cardano at $1, we think is a steal. All right, let's move on to Solana. Okay, Solana also back at a floor of accumulation, places where we like to get in, right? So around 88 bucks. And again, guys, we're not scared to buy at these levels because we're not putting it all down. Okay, we're not putting our life savings into anything. We're just scaling in a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Eventually, you'll end up with a pretty nice stack accumulated at very low prices, good prices, and you'll be able to scale out of these areas once you hit these higher marks in price. Okay, it's just about patience and scaling in a fashionable way that you can maintain and still pay your bills. Okay, this is the thing that we preach all the time on this market. And again, it's not financial advice. What we're giving you is a way to work yourself into the crypto market slowly but surely without ruining yourself. Okay, if you're going to use a strategy, you have to use a simple strategy. You can't use too many things that are too technical and complicated. Start small, start easy, okay, and you'll get better at it. You'll grow within the space, okay. You get a lot more knowledge in what you're doing, and it'll be easier to trade this. But from a long-term perspective, this is the easiest thing you can do. Scaling in lower discount zones based on the range of price, okay, and then selling when price reached the higher parts of those ranges. All right, so this is what we're showing here. This is the way that institutions do it, and this is what we're teaching. All right, so when it comes down to scaling areas for Solana, we're looking at those around 88 bucks, which is around the area where price is now at around 91.40, and also a little bit higher than that, even around 113. But based on the current price action for Solana, we would actually be looking to scale out at that area. Look at where your price is being turned around at. All of these are signatures in price that we call out, that we find, and are able to place these levels where price is essentially going to respect it one way or the other. All right, so when it comes down to AVAX, let's talk about AVAX. AVAX has been showing strength, had 2 really bad days. Okay, so it traded out of this discount zone, broke through the scale out zone, touched it, tried to reach the second scale out zone, but couldn't quite make it. All right, again, the whole premise is to buy in the discount, selling the low premium. So if you would have followed that rule, okay, and took your profits, then you would have been, positive in that trade either way. But looks like AVAX is starting to come back down. If it does come back down to the discount zone, which starts around 77 bucks for us, then yes, we definitely would be looking to accumulate some more for another launch and explosion into the low premium zone. But AVAX has been showing a lot of strength as of late. Just took 2 really big hits on Thursday and Friday. Let's talk about Atom. All right, when it comes down to Atom, also in a low premium zone for us, okay? Trying to sneak its way right back to that line where we got in at, but we're not too scared, okay? I think the next time that we get an explosion out of here, we're just going to take more profits, right? And this is what we're doing, right? Getting in, getting out a little bit, okay? Price comes back down, rises back up, we take out a little bit more. This is the way that you keep your profits, some dry powder in your pocket, okay? And then when it reaches your levels where you want to accumulate, you accumulate more. It's just back and forth, guys, back and forth. And that's how we play it. All right, so right now, Atom is in a low premium zone right now at $27.21. We want to see if the negative action is going to push Atom into a discount zone. We think anything under $23 is a fairly good buy because, as you can see, it doesn't stay here long. And we can go by previous price action to understand where these floors are being set. All right, so looking to get Atom anywhere in the discount zone under 23 bucks. But right now, we're trying our hand with the play at 26. Let's see how it turns out. When it comes to Polkadot, all right, Polkadot in the discounted zone, playing the bottom area of the discounted zone, okay? finding that floor again, and you'll see certain similarities and signatures in price, right? Some of these are very correlated, right? And what we should start to do is put together the correlated price actions. And I think that's what we're going to do next time that we come through. We're going to show you in a way how certain price action for certain coins sort of just follows the same exact pattern, right? Metaverse tokens follow very similar patterns. And what you want to try to point out when it comes to this type of stuff is who's the leader in the action. Because if I can figure out who the leader is in correlated coins, then I can use that knowledge to trade other coins, right? So if I see that, you know, Bitcoin's jumping up and I know Ethereum follows that, then you can use that to your advantage when it comes to trades, okay? And actually get in a little bit earlier on the correlated coins before they move. These are the things that we're going to start to watch as well. All right, so for Polkadot, also trading sort of in that triangle pattern, right? Head and shoulders, whatever people want to call it, okay? But I'm thinking that you have found a floor here. You're at the bottom of the discount zone. Right now it's around 18 bucks for Polkadot. All right. And I think that right here are the perfect levels to accumulate, anywhere around 17 to 20 bucks. All right. So that's what we're dealing with for Polkadot. Going to be interesting to see what happens next week with this as well. Let's move on to MATIC. Okay. MATIC also showing similar price action, right? Peak and a drop. But you are still in the low premium zone. So MATIC has been showing a lot of strength, right? There's positive price action from low to high. This is what we like to see, right? Continuous pushes out of a discount zone into a low premium zone, right? So bouncing up, it just wicks into here and goes away, okay? So these are things that we like to see. But again, you're starting to find that floor somewhere around $1.50, and we think that MATIC is definitely a good buy anywhere under that, okay? So scaling areas around $1.45, $1.31, $1.16. These are the places that we're looking to get in for MATIC. Let's move on to Luna, okay? Terra Luna playing sort of a ricochet game right between this discount and low premium zone, okay? So if you want to play a range, folks, these are ways that you can do it as well, all right? Getting in low, selling highs, and you can see scale in to scale out areas, right? As we mark them off, they get hit. They get hit, all right? So these are levels that we're going to show you guys how to draw up. We're putting together the tutorial now. We're writing the script for it now. We're going to show you how to put this together on TradingView on your charts the exact same way so that you guys can take a look at any cryptos that you want to in the exact same way. All right. And there's also some rules that apply to that. So don't think that you can apply this type of charting to every single thing in crypto. You can't, right? There has to be a certain market cap associated with the crypto before you can start to apply these type of lessons when it comes to price action and institutional movements, algorithms, all of those different things that move price. There's a certain market cap that has to be associated with the crypto before those things really start to come to fruition and price on the chart for you. All right. But either way, getting off topic here, for Terra Luna, we are swinging in between the discount and the low premium zone. Okay. So again, trading in ranges. Right now it's trading at 51 bucks. We're looking to scale in again anywhere at 43. Right. But again, in the discount zone, under 53 bucks is a good buy for Terra Luna. Let's go ahead and speak about Harmony One. Okay, so for Harmony One, again, same thing. Bouncing off of this discount zone into low premium zones, but now you see we sort of broken this bottom here a little bit, but not very much, right? Because you still have lows over here. You have floors, right? That I think price is starting to find. Whether or not these floors get respected is really going to tell the tale here, folks. All right, right around these levels is where I think you're finding most of your floors in price, okay, for a lot of different cryptos. And you can see that price is bouncing up off of these areas, right, in these discounted zones. And they're giving us small opportunities to take profit, but not a lot of them, all right? You're not getting the major bounces out of here, the rocket ships that we were all expecting. And I think that's for a lot of different reasons. Just uncertainty in the market will do this. It'll sit everybody down, make everybody be patient, get bored, and then it'll rocket, okay? Understand that our sentiment generally, collectively as a whole, as retail traders, our sentiment is what pushes the market a lot of times. It's not the other way around, guys. They just want to be on the opposite end of whatever we're thinking and doing. And as long as we're optimistic about crypto, and there's a ton of crypto commercials out and everybody's talking about it, that gives them the fuel they need to sell. You got to start thinking about this from the opposite end perspective. You got to think like a market maker to trade like a market maker. And market makers don't go with the herd. Market makers weren't excited about crypto commercials and buying crypto. They were excited about selling crypto to the people who were buying the crypto. If you guys get what I'm saying. All right. So for Harmony One, Again, getting off topic. It's Friday night. Don't blame me. Harmony One, 16 cents. Trading anywhere between 17 to, what do we say, 14 cents is a good area for accumulation when it comes to Harmony One. Right now in the discount zone, we're waiting for it to jump to a low premium zone before we would take profits on what we traded. Let's talk about Phantom. Okay, when it comes to Phantom, also in a low premium zone, okay, but creeping its way towards that discount zone. But again, finding floors. Now, if Phantom were to break down, I'm pretty sure it's going to hit these scale in zones. And depending on how hard it breaks, right, it may only be filling imbalances. But if it breaks a little bit lower, you may have to sit in this a little bit while. You may have to sit in this a little while before it starts to break up out of here, right, into your low premium zones. But right now, we think that Phantom is a good buy. It's trading right at the edge of that discount zone. But when you're dealing with dollars and cents, you want to actually let it drop into your zones, right? Don't worry about it. If it was hundreds of dollars, you may want to get in just a shade early, break your rules a little bit. But when it's dollars and cents, folks, those cents actually matter, okay? They matter in the long term. If in fact this does kind of rocket and go to the moon, you're going to want that 20-cent difference. It's going to make a difference, believe me, okay? So if this does in fact break into the discount zone under $1.83, we're looking to get in, scale in around $1.68 and $1.49 for Phantom. All right, let's close out with our last few coins here. Okay, let's talk about Chainlink. Chainlink at the bottom of the discount zone. Looks like it's trying to break into this bargain zone, but it may just be looking to grab liquidity, right? Chainlink has enough of the market cap to, pull off some institutional price maneuvers when it comes to algorithms and the way that price moves. All right, so these equal lows here, concerning, price may actually go for those, right, into the bargain zone. Drop itself all the way down to 11 bucks if we really have bearish stuff going on in the market within the next couple of months. And in fact, if it does, then Chainlink at 11 bucks and 8 bucks to us, that's a great buy. Great buy for Chainlink because we understand the importance and where they land in the crypto space. And we think that this is a blue chip, no matter what the price is, under 27 bucks. All right, so looking to scale in for Chainlink. This is actually good areas to scale in now, but we think that if the rest of the market goes lower, right, which is a possibility, then of course, Chainlink is something that we can pick up at a lower price. All right, CRV chart looks almost identical to Chainlink, but not the same. Of course, CRV is trading higher in the discount zone than Chainlink is, which is more towards the bottom of its discount zone. But as you guys can see, the scaling level was hit. You had a chance to take some profits, just a little, half of a chance of a inkling of a chance to take profit there once it broke into the low premium zone. But now we're right back into discount. So if CRV were to drop back down around $2.37, these are the areas where we think we would want to get in. You do see lots and lots and lots of wicks down here. You do seem to have a floor here that's right around $2. So these are good areas where we could probably accumulate in a pretty good fashion when it comes to CRV. All right, but right now it's trading at 284. Had a rough couple of days, but up today so far. But the day's still young, so let's see what happens. All right, let's talk about Engine Token. Last three coins here are the Metaverse Engine Token in a discounted zone, currently trading at $1.68. We think that these are pretty good areas to accumulate in, scaling in right around these areas. You do see that price does like to launch out of here. Okay, so will it happen again for Engine? I'm pretty sure it will. Engine does move very aggressively when it goes on its bull runs. All right, right now scaling in anywhere around $1.75. It's actually under where we will scale in. But we do have lower scaling areas as well, around $1.29, that if price were to go there, we would definitely get in for Engine. All right, let's move on to Mana. All right, Mana creeping its way out of the low premium zone, right? So this gives you a sort of a perfect example of scaling in somewhere in the discount, getting out somewhere in the premium, okay? Even though it didn't hit our scale out zone, just the idea alone of discount to premium should give you enough fuel to say, okay, I'm taking something once we cross this yellow line here. All right, so now Mana's came back into the discounted zone, okay? Based on the market sentiment, we feel more than comfortable accumulating this around $2.11, okay? Based on what we think Decentraland is going to do in the future and the future of just the metaverse in general, we feel comfortable here, okay? So at the end of the day, Mana right now at $2.99. We will wait for this to either find a floor here and start to push its way up, where we may want to take a little bit of a chance at the top of the discount zone, typically something we don't do. But it doesn't hurt if we were to wait for price to come back down here, because we all know that there's more than enough days in the year for price to try to find value, find range. And as long as we're patient, it'll hit our area. Okay. So scaling that around $2.11, below that around $1.53. But Decentraland is something that we think if we can accumulate here, we should get some, because, you know, it may not be at these prices for long. Same thing for Sandbox. All right, so let's take a look at Sandbox. You know, fairly similar price action. Okay, Mana seems to move a little bit stronger at this point, but again, all of these different things are subjective when it comes to how price is actually moving. All right, let's talk about Sandbox. And Sandbox is also sort of following the same sort of pattern. Came from a low premium to a discounted zone, right? But you can see here that from the scale in to the scale out zone, that was hit. So, you know, just following the rules, you would have taken your profit there. You know, this thing is going to show itself over and over and over again on the chart, all right? And the biggest thing to pay attention to, folks, is that for most cryptos, we're trading near the center of the ranges of where they've been for the past couple of years. So the market's essentially divided, if you want to ask me. You have people who are winners, and you have people who are losers, okay? And the lower price goes, the more losers start to pile up on that table, okay? And whether or not those losers come back is really the deciding factor of how you are going to play your crypto game. You may lose coming into this game, okay? But does that mean you need to give up coming into this game? No. You just have to be a little bit smarter about where you enter in, okay? Because apparently the decision where you got in may have not been correct on that particular coin, all right? But part of the channel, part of the reason why this channel was created in the first place is so that we can help people understand this on a deeper level, okay? And take advantage of things when they become an opportunity for you, rather than sitting there waiting for the crowd to tell you what to do. You always have to make your own decisions in trading, okay? And I think on this channel, if you listen to some of the things that we try to express about being your own trader, not following the herd, trying to think like the market maker and do the things that the market maker is doing, it'll help you sort of flip that paradigm around so that you can become a better trader and not do all of the things that usually get most people wrecked. It's your boy Maestro. Hopefully you guys like the new layout, man. I mean, so if you guys like it, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, you know, do all of the good things that we on YouTube ask you to do so that we can continue to grow our channel and bring you this good content, the knowledge that we know, to try to educate you guys on how to win in this market and not be a victim. All right, so it's your boy Maestro. Salute. We out of here. It's the long and short. Peace.